Alright, welcome everybody to Can We Make Impact Wrestling the best wrestling promotion in Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. My name is the Mayor Jason Smith. Welcome to another episode, number 23. Today, we head to Impact TV taping week 2 in November. We also will be talking about TNA Against All Odds 2006 as we continue to chronicle the journey of Impact Wrestling. So, we've been talking about the pay-per-views. We are up to February of 2006. We started in 2005 talking about the monthly pay-per-views. Prior to that, they'd done weekly pay-per-views, and just not gonna go through all of that. So, we'll continue to talk about the monthly pay-per-views. Against All Odds, however, a pretty decent show, I suppose. Christian Cage on the cover of the DVD when it was released. You had the pay-per-view in-ring debut of Shannon Moore. You had Jay Lethal on this one, LAX, the James Gang, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, Shark Boy. You had Chris Sabin and Sanjay Dutt on board for this one. Team 3D, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, Gail Kim. A lot of names starting to come around to the TNA side of things in 2006. So we'll continue to talk about that. So first off, though, we'll take a look at where we're at in-game. If you recall, we are talking with ESPN, trying to get Impact Wrestling on ESPN. We missed out on TBS, and we're also negotiating with Ricochet and EC3. We have 2 episodes left on Fight Network, Pop, and Spike UK, which we may have to just re-up these deals for another year or so, and hope that we can continue this momentum that we're on, maybe get to an ESPN level network at that time. But we've got a little bit of time, so I'm not in panic mode yet. But if we get past this TV taping with no TV deal in place, then I'm going to start to panic just a skosh. So we'll move on to the next day, and we'll talk about the 2 dark matches Against All Odds 2006. First up, you had Ron Killings, R-Truth, taking on A1, part of Team Canada. And Ron Killings would defeat A1 in a very, very quick match. Less than 2 minutes. The next match saw a 6-man tag match with Shannon Moore and the Diamonds in the Rough, Elix Skipper and David Young, with Simon Diamond at ringside, taking on Lance Hoyt, Cassidy Riley, and Shark Boy, 3 names that really don't fit together as a tag team, but there they are. And they would actually pick up the win in this one in about 6 minutes after Lance Hoyt hit the chokeslam on Elix Skipper. So those were your dark matches to start off the show. We've got some unread emails waiting. We've also got a big list of news to get to. Nothing much really happening here. Vanessa Craven's in a relationship. Good for her. Kushibino Kamen is probably out of DDT, and looking like that, I don't blame them. AAA fired Sexy Star. Good. I'm still not over what she did a while back in that match in AAA with Rosemary and I'm forgetting who else was in the ring that she tried to hurt. It was just a shit show. Not a cool thing to do. Oh, all of this is Jake Christ, as usual, complaining. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next day, and we'll talk about the first couple of matches that actually appeared on the pay-per-view. The first was a tag team match that saw Austin Aries and Roderick Strong take on the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. 10-minute match, 10.5-minute match. Austin Aries and Roderick Strong always putting on a good show. But the Naturals, who have gone from being the NWA World Tag Team Champions to being the opener on the card in really quick fashion, ended up picking up the win, getting over on Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. The next match on the card was a fatal four-way match between Matt Bentley, Alex Shelley, Petey Williams, and Jay Lethal. In this match, another 10.5-minute match or so, Jay Lethal would get his first Impact pay-per-view victory. He was in a previous pay-per-view, unfortunately didn't win the match as part of a six-man tag dark match at Final Resolution. So Jay Lethal picking up the win in that fatal four-way. Next up was a tag match, sort of a revenge match in a storyline that included the 4 Live crew with Conan, BG James, and Kip James. The tag match saw the Latin American exchange with the team of Homicide and Machete, who internationally went by Ricky Vega. Conan at ringside for that one against the James Gang. The James Gang pick up the win in the match. The pump handle slam, courtesy of the Road Dogg, in a 6-minute match flat, as a matter of fact. Alright, so we've got some unread emails waiting as per usual, which leads me to believe that either Ricochet and EC3's offers from WWE have changed, or we miss out on ESPN. So we will take a look at that. ESPN rejected our negotiations. So I guess we'll just re-up. We'll just extend our contract for these shows here on Pop. You already have contacted them. Oh. We'll extend that one as well, and we will extend... I want to adjust the details. Oh, I can't adjust the details. I want to extend the contract here as well. Hopefully we get an opportunity to renegotiate these at the very least, because we are getting killed on this TV. Spike UK, we're getting 10% of the revenue, and we are paying all of the costs to put the show on. Fight Network, same deal there. And then on Pop, we are essentially footing the bill to put this show on and allowing the network to take all of the money. This was not a deal that I negotiated by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm hoping that I get a chance to negotiate these deals before we just automatically extend them for a certain period of time. I'd like to adjust the terms a little bit, at least. So we'll move on to the next day, and we will talk about the next match on the card. It is the first of 3 championship matches, the AWA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The defending champions, America's Most Wanted, taking on Chris Sabin and Sanjay Dutt after Team 3D kind of got screwed at Final Resolution with the whole powder incident. So in this one, Chris Harris broke out the chair, and basically they tried to hurt Chris Sabin. Storyline, they tried to hurt Chris Sabin, and then America's Most Wanted hit Sanjay Dutt with the death sentence finisher and retained the titles. Next match up was a Falls Count Anywhere match, a rematch from Final Resolution between Rhino and Abyss. There was tables, staple guns, bats, chains as usual with Abyss. You saw Abyss put Rhino through a wall. Rhino hit Abyss with a gore, and Abyss went through a bunch of tables and onto the floor. Rhino made his way down, pinned Abyss, and picked up the victory. So we have unread decisions and unread emails. So somebody looks like they may have signed with us, so that's a good sign. And let's see what we got going on. The Miz might be out of WWE. We're going to keep an eye on that. I don't know if we're big enough yet to land The Miz, but it's certainly going to be worth an effort. So I can't talk. EC3 is coming home to Impact Wrestling. He'll be here in 21 days. so probably not in time for the November pay-per-view, but we will have him hopefully very, very soon. And we've got The Miz. Yeah, we're too small for him, so he's probably going to stay with WWE for a little while. That makes me sad. I really want... I love The Miz's work, to much of the chagrin of probably everybody that I know that's a wrestling fan. They all can't stand The Miz. I personally love The Miz. Haters. So, I mean, I love his work. I love his promos. He's great as a heel. He's great as a face. Just a fantastic performer all the way around. His ring work is good. So, yeah. Alright, next day. TNA X Division Championship is the next match on the card at Against All Odds 2006. Three-way dance, triple threat match. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. If you recall, in Final Resolution 2006, Samoa Joe came in as the champion against Christopher Daniels, and the storyline was that Joe was going to attack Christopher Daniels' head post-concussion, try to give him another concussion. AJ threw in the towel to try to quote-unquote save Christopher Daniels. Samoa Joe continued to be undefeated. He now was at, I believe, 8 months undefeated in Impact. And Joe would land a muscle buster on AJ, tossed Chris Daniels to the floor, picked up the pinfall victory over AJ and Christopher Daniels to retain the Impact X Division Championship. We have more unread emails waiting. Let's see here. NXT gets Mahabali Shera. Alright. Well, good for them. I hope he does well there. WWE has altered the terms of their bid to Ricochet. Well, so will we. $99.40, 6 years, 20% per pay-per-view, no signing bonus. Yeah, not being seriously considered. So we're not going to bid against ourselves here, and we'll just ride it out. Alright, next match on the card, a straight-up tag team match that carried over from the Final Resolution storyline. Team Canada was responsible for Team 3D not winning the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at Final Resolution after the whole powder incident, and then 3D pinned America's Most Wanted. The referee counted 3 but couldn't see who had actually gained the pinfall. Team Canada came and beat up Team 3D and put Chris Harris over Bully Ray. The referee saw that when he got his eyes cleaned out, gave America's Most Wanted the championship. So, Team Canada, Team 3D, that's how that story got set up and why it's the, near the top of the card. It's a storyline matchup. So, kind of an all-out brawl to start the thing. The Dudleys hit the 3D on Eric Young to pick up the win. It was a pretty decent match, though. About 13 and a half minutes or so. After the match, America's Most Wanted came back out to continue the storyline, started to attack Team 3D. R-Truth came out, and then the Dudleys put Eric Young through a table. And that wrapped up that match. Unread emails and decisions. I think that means we may have gotten Ricochet. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what else we got going on here. Interview with Marty Scurll. Too Cold Scorpio out of C4. Oh no. Earl Hebner is becoming a free agent referee. Decision time. Yes. We've landed Ricochet. A big fish signing. 20 days. He will make his arrival to the Impact Zone. We have landed Ricochet, y'all. That is awesome. That is tremendous news. A huge coup for us in Impact Wrestling, regaining EC3 and landing Ricochet. Let's go to the next day. I can't wait to get those two on this roster. That's so awesome. Next up is the final match on the card for Against All Odds 2006. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett taking on Christian Cage. Gail Kim at ringside with Jeff Jarrett, the defending champion. 16-minute match, the longest match on the card by about 20 seconds. Not a terrible match. Cage would hit the Unprettier on Jeff Jarrett, powerbomb Gail Kim, pick up the win, and become a first-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion at this pay-per-view. Rhino would come out. The fans would get into the ring. It was just chaos after the match. I really hope they didn't have any storyline activity going on that they needed to get in after the match, because that got blown up in a hurry. So this would all lead into the March 2006 pay-per-view Destination X, where you would see the pay-per-view debut of Norman Smiley in Impact Wrestling. You would also see the debut of Homicide. You would see, or not Homicide, excuse me, Hernandez. You would see Puma, TJP, make his debut on pay-per-view. And you would see an appearance by Bullet Bob Armstrong. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So we'll talk about that in episode number 24 as we get to wrapping up our show here. We've got Impact Wrestling tonight. TV set to go. We are in the 2300 Arena, a very famous arena for those of you who follow professional wrestling. All right, so we have our main event on the way for the pay-per-view in November. Kofi Kingston, TJP. Try and keep these two involved with one another while also trying to keep them separated from one another, so that we don't get the storyline stale, I guess would be the best way to put it. Last week we put them in a tag team match against each other on opposite sides of a team. This time we're going to put them on the same side of the tag team. We're going to force them to tag together in a match, and we will see them take on the defending Impact Grand Champion Eddie Edwards and I don't want to do that. Let's do Bully Ray and Jake Hager. These two couldn't wrestle each other one-on-one. It turned out to be a garbage match, sadly. So we'll put them together on a tag team and see how they perform. We'll slow build this one because it's 18 minutes, and we'll turn that one loose. I also want to do a tag team match featuring our X Division champion Marty Scurll on one side, with Brody King, his tag team partner, and Eddie Edwards on the other side. He doesn't have a tag team partner. His normal tag team partner in the Wolves is not signed to our promotion. Sorry about that. Davey Richards is not a part of our promotion at this time. Eli Drake will slide in there. Eli Drake will face Eddie Edwards at our November pay-per-view. Alright, so we will keep this match open. We'll keep Brody King strong. Decisive victory. I don't care who wins. Alright, now we've got, we continue to search for a women's division opponent for Kairi Hojo. It wasn't Britt Baker, we know that. Um, Actually, was it Britt Baker? Maybe we decided we landed on Britt Baker. No, we didn't, because that match was not good. So I thought. Couldn't remember there for a second. Alright, so Kyrie still searching for that elusive opponent. Shayna Baszler was a no. Let's try Su Yung. I don't think these two have gone head-to-head one-on-one before. They have not. Alright, well now they have. And all out. And decisive. Don't care who wins it. Alright, so there we go. And last but not least, our tag teams. The Coffee Brothers and the Briscoes. The Briscoes are the defending champs. They're going to take on the Lucha Bros. We are going to flip-flop the singles matches we had in our last show. We had Phoenix against Jay and Penta against Mark. This time we will have Phoenix against Mark Briscoe. And we'll have Pentagon Jr. against Jay Briscoe. And these guys will work the crowd because I am confident in their abilities to be awesome. Alright, so there's one. And we'll do Jay Briscoe and Pentagon. There's two. Alright. So far, so good, I believe. Okay. Now we'll round out the rest of our card with 50 minutes left. We've got 5 total main event talents left. A whole hell of a lot more if we include the mid-carders. So I think we'll go with Sami Callihan versus Alex Shelley. I think. Yeah, these guys have never gone head-to-head before. One-on-one at least. And we'll go all out decisive. There we go. Alright, 35 minutes left. As we get our friends from Kayfabe Controversy rejoined. Welcome back, Kayfabe Controversy, folks. Sorry you missed out. You didn't miss anything, honestly. We're just continuing to book TV. And I do want to say, though, big shout out to Restream.io for allowing us to stream on 2 different Facebook pages, YouTube and Twitch. So I'm on my personal Facebook page. We're on Kayfabe Controversy. We're on Twitch, and we are on YouTube Stream Live. All right, so we've got 3 main event guys left. We're gonna have Johnny Impact on one side, and we'll do Flip Gordon on the other. I like that. Johnny Impact and Flip Gordon. Alright, so we'll fill that in. Next up, we've got Will Ospreay and Jay White. Still trying to push Jay White up into the, we just did this match at Bound for Glory. So we'll change that up to Rich Swann and Jay White. I don't think we've done that. We have not. Okay. There we go. Alright, 15 minutes left. One of our main event talents, that would be Will Ospreay. Where is he? There he is. Will Ospreay will take on Jay Lethal. I really hope that I can get Jay Lethal over here. I hope. There we go. Alright, Will Ospreay's a pretty good team player, I will say. Change that up. There we go. Make sure Andy Dumas is road agenting this one. Alright, there we go. 9 segments, 125 minutes. We're off. And we will try to reconnect our friends at Kayfabe Controversy one more time. Alright, so Kayfabe hopefully back on. And here we go. Phoenix and Mark Briscoe goes to a B. So great match there. Same with Johnny Impact, Flip Gordon. Fantastic. That's good stuff. Kairi Hojo, I think, finally has an opponent for the pay-per-view. Sue Young. She wrestles to B. We have a B- match between Rich Swann and Jay White. Will Ospreay and Jay Lethal didn't click, and it led to kind of a ho-hum match, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Pentagon Jr. and Jay Briscoe pick it up, though, with a B. Sami Callihan, Alex Shelley go to a B rating. I'm really liking how this show turned out. Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake get over on Villain Enterprises. Not really the greatest match in the world, though. We get a B- out of our main event with DJP and Kofi versus Bully Ray and Jake Hager. So that drags us down just slightly to a B-. But we increased our popularity in 21 regions, and hopefully we can keep up that pretty decent ratings numbers that we've had the last couple of weeks. So we'll check in on that. We'll wrap things up here momentarily. My apologies to my Kayfabe Controversy viewers. I don't know what was going on with that. It keeps saying that my wireless connection is bad, even though I'm not working with wireless. So not really sure. I'm hardwired in, so I'm not sure what the problem is there. All right, so we'll check on our ratings and we'll get set to wrap things up here. Chuck Taylor TM is re-signing in Chikara. Defiant had their show in front of 66 fans. Good for them. All right. Kaji staying with New Japan. Great show at the 2300 Arena. And Tajiri looks like he's set to leave Wrestle 1. So we're going to get an extension with Pop, and we are going to be able to renegotiate here. I'd like to go one season, 80% advertising revenue to the network. Production costs will be spent with 80% to us. And we'll see what they say. They do not. All right, so we'll bump it up to 90. I'm willing to go to 90%. All right, so they're good with that. I'm good with that. We're going to stay on TV in the United States for another year, thanks to our deal with Pop TV. And we'll check in on our ratings. So we are up on the Fight Network, which is awesome. We are slightly down on Spike UK, not terrible. And we are still at 2.4 on Pop, which is great news for us. Great news for Pop, because honestly, I didn't think a 2.4 on Pop TV was possible. So great stuff there. We've got one episode left, and we are 2 days away from our November pay-per-view. One night only, November. So episode 24, stay tuned for that. We will have Impact one night only. We will also have look back at TNA's Destination X 2006. That's going to wrap it up for us. I'm out of here. My name is the Mayor Jason Smith. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Be excellent.